We are now at the Western Wall, the Wailing Wall, but this time I'm not going to visit it. I'm going to visit what it's beneath it. And the Western Wall Heritage Center is the first part, the first place that we will enter to see all the excavations that have been there. The idea of the excavations is first of all to show you the history, and then slowly we will reach the Western Wall beneath us. Here, for example, there's another excavation, and they're preparing the lower part of it. And although it's difficult to go in, let me use it. Maybe you will see the area through the gimbal. I cannot see it, but you might see it. And then later on, we will go to the Western Wall tunnel site to see the new excavation beside the Western Wall tunnel that you can see it already at my YouTube channel. Then here we are now entering to the Western Wall Heritage Center, which is a new building. But beneath it, there's so many historical sites. To enter to the site, the heritage site, and you can see in front of you the cliff of the upper city. We are in the lower city. Up there, it's the aqueduct from 2nd century, the lower aqueduct to Jerusalem from Solomon Pools, next to Bethlehem and Hebron. We took the water to here. And a mikveh from 2nd century, was second temple time, was there as well. You can see modern house from the Manda time, from the bridge time. And I won't talk about it yet, but I want you to pay attention to those tunnels here, because you can see it from here in a better way. And you can see it there, and guess what? I asked them to climb up to the roof to see the view, and I'm doing it. Let's do that, yeah. Just one floor above, and again, I won't talk about that maybe industry factory, but I want you to remember those tunnels, of water tunnels. But beautifully from here, you can see the aqueduct from 2nd century BC, right there. We took the water to Jerusalem from the Solomon Pool. We are in that industrial area that we were talking. This is from the Umayyad time, 15th century BC. And we believe that here they used to color fabric or to deal with leather, stinky things at the side, at the end of the city. But in fact, what is important for us is that this is the eastern corridor, the main city, the main road, or the second main road from 2nd century, just before Adrian time. Then, those are the sidewalks, and you can see the shops. Some of them are from the 2nd century. And you see some of the columns right here and right there. And you see the floor of the road, like 8 meters or even more. Shops are there. The other side were more shops. Adrian time, friends, 2nd century. And this is a Roman soldiers play. They used to play on the floor while they were waiting for something. You were talking about Jesus. Next to the Praetorium, we found those kind of games as well. Then, 2nd century, 2nd century, 2nd century, 2nd century, and it's for the first time. Amazing, isn't it? Remember, this is the end of the Kaaba. Here, 2nd century AD. But no. This one, this floor. Yeah. But beneath it, you see the walls here, the walls there. This is from the time of Hezekiah, King Hezekiah, 8th century BC. 8th century BC. Can you imagine? 2nd century AD, 8th century BC. King Hezekiah. I don't know if it's allowed, but I'm entering now to the shops from 2nd century till 15th century of the Cairo and the Mamluks, but I'm going back to the 8th century BC street. We found so many sealed stamps that tells us that that wasn't a regular house. That wasn't a regular building. It was owned by the government. And in fact, what is beautiful to understand that no one destroyed. I mean, it was here in the Hashmonite time. It was here at the King Herod time. Even the Romans that built the Cairo, the main street, didn't destroy it. They built it on top of it. It means that it was something important. We don't know what. Maybe the archive, maybe a holy site. We don't know what, but it still exists from 8th century BC. To find something like that, this is amazing. This is something that I cannot even imagine. And you can see it again for the first time. Yay! Did you subscribe my channel? Not yet? Please do that. And did you share that video and our videos with others? Thank you very much for doing it. That's the first building that we started it, and I show you at the beginning that we will continue to Strauss House, the other building, and then this is the corridor who brings us to that building. What you see here is Umayyad Palace that we found. We are talking about 8th century AD. The Umayyads, which are the Muslims who came to here, built a few palaces. This is one that usually you won't find in every diagram because they found it lately. Here it is.
עכשיו מעבר להכשרה הבטיחותית שלנו, שאותה אפשר לעשות וירטואלית מהבית המחשב, אחרי 20 דקות אתם אחרי זה, מעבר לזה אנחנו גם נותנים את הידע, ואנחנו פתחנו ימי הכשרה פיזיים למורי דרך.
We are now at my palace. You can see the mosaic floor. End of 7th, beginning of the 8th century. But here you can see that they used a Latin, a Roman. Now we can see it. Stone inscription of a clock. Maybe even before 70, before the destruction of the temple, but the Muslims who built it didn't mind about that. Lately, we found that structure, which is earlier than that. It used to be a storeroom of a building from before the destruction of the temple, 470 AD. That the building was here instead of the temple, but it won't be open to the public. Then that's why I'm going to use later on the that ladder. And then visit the room there. We were there, and now I'm in the lower part of that room, of the storeroom. Maybe I will enter to that room. Is it worth it? זה שווה? או שעוד לא היית? But it's a place that we'll never visit again.
תוכל להגיד, הייתי שם.
Yes, they will see it. Yes. All right. Oh, I love the smell. The palace that we actually visit will exist until the 11th century, and then the Muslims who been here, the Fatimid didn't care about Jerusalem. Then they built so many neighborhoods there, and now we found it. זהו, הבנת?
כן, הבנו.
רגע, ניתן להם לצאת, אבל let them first go out, and then we will enter. את אחרונה?
לא, יש פה עוד...
יש עוד מישהו?
יש פה מישהו.
לחכות לך?
אני בא. אתם יכולים לבוא.
Okay, then let me use the flashlight.
המילים האלה, אתם יכולים לבוא.
Yeah, I'm the witch of the house. Here it is.
תיזהר עם הראש שלך.
Yeah.
אני לא יודעת למה הפנס שלי משום מה לא.
אז הנה.
יש לך?
כן, כן.
Great. אז אני...
You see that room? Yeah, it's not so impressive, but it's very, it's from the 1st century, before the destruction of the temple by the Romans. אתה נכנס? אוקיי. תזהר על הראש. חכו רגע בפנים, תנו לנו לצאת. לא, it's too late. תגיד להם שיחכו, מאחוריך.
אחריי מישהו שיחכה?
כן.
ותדליק פנסים, לא תראו כלום בפנס.
Let us go out. Yay! Oops, I can see your legs now.
למה אין התרמין ואת יורדת? למה אתה יורד עם התרמין?
כי אני אפילו לא יודע שהוא עליי. We did it. You saw another evidence from the past that is not open to the public yet, and that part won't be open to the public at all.
הוא נמצא מלמטה, לא רואים אותו. רק צריך להיכנס מרחבת הגברים לראות אותו.
Yeah. Bishops. You're asking me where I am? Now look at this ceiling. If you will visit the main toilet of the Western Wall, is there. So now you know exactly where we are. You can see there's some evidence from the past. Maybe they're telling us a story that we don't know yet. Finds from the Roman time.
זה שבר, זה שבור, זה לא מלא. זה שבר של שולחן.
It's a piece of a table.
הוא עשוי מאבן גיר מקומית. כמו שאנחנו יודעים, הגמרא בשבת מצטטת
Local stone.
שאומרת שפרצה טהרה בישראל. כן? כל הנושא של טומאה
It means that it's a Jewish item because it's made of stone.
רואים אותו ביטוי יותר חזק, יותר מודגש. אנחנו רואים אותו.
Another item that they found here, again, no one knows about it, some of those scholars.
במאה הראשונה, פה מה אני מחזיק? עוד שבר של כתובת, בעצם מאותה תקופה כנראה, הוא טיפה אחר כך. יש פה לבנה, הלבנה הזאת כנראה יוצרה באזור בנייני האומה, או אולי באיזה מפעל עד הוקי פה.
That's a
ויש
break.
היה אותיות, קצת קשה לראות, דווקא
Letters
בצילום
on it.
בטלפון זה הולך יותר טוב. יש פה LEXFR, אוקיי? מה זה אומר? ה-LE זה קיצור של המילה
Legion, yeah, it's from the 10th
X
Legion.
זה מספר, כי כל לגיון יש לו מספר וכינוי. ה-FR זה פרטנזס,
Fretensis.
מה זה אומר בלטינית? מיצר, למה? ילדים אוהבים לשחק,
Now it's talking
באותם
about
צעצועים שיש
children
למבוגרים.
and
אז
women.
פה יש לנו
love
לב
to
שמן,
play.
שהרי פה שמים את השמן ופה את הפתילה.
So they can.
מה ילדים עושים? גם הם רוצים
Children
נרות. אז אנחנו
used
רוצים פה נרות
to.
מיניאטוריים.
Small,
כן?
like the baby doll, a dollhouse.
עכשיו,
candlelight.
הנר הזה הוא גם, הוא לא נר פונקציונלי, אי אפשר להשתמש
Cannot
בו,
use it.
אין חיבור בין
It's only for fun, for children.
בין המכל שמן לפתיל. יש עוד סברה לגבי למה הכינו את הנרות המיניאטוריים חוץ מילדים וזה, זה שסוחרים.
And for the women,
אז אחד,
perfume.
תמרוקים.
Oh,
נכון
glass.
זכוכית מהתקופה הרומית, הוא בין 1800
Roman glass.
אנחנו מוצאים את
1800
הבקבוקים
years
האלה
ago.
בעיקר בקברים.
found a lot
זה
of
נורא
it in
נדיר
tombs.
למצוא אותם במרקם עירוני, כי במרקם עירוני כל הזמן בונים ודברים נשברים. הדבר הזה
it's
התגלגל
one
עד
piece.
התקופה הממלוכית.
Wow, beautiful. Roman glass.
התקופה הממלוכית פה למעלה, ליד הקרדו. יש עליהם אגדה מודרנית.
Next item is
מחזיק בידיי חותם,
סיר.
שהיה על שרשרת של מישהו, הוא כנראה מתקופת הברזל או התקופה הפרסית, בשפה של
might be
זה אומר
from
תקופת המקרא או תקופת של
from
ציון.
biblical, from the
יש פה
Bible.
איזושהי
It's like a stamp
דגם, עדיין לא
And you
עמד
used to
בו
wear
על
it.
טיבו.
with a chain
זה עשוי מאבן פה.
from stone, from limestone. You see it for the first time, just like me.
מה שאנחנו יכולים להגיד עליו זה שיש פה משהו.
From the Byzantine time, when the Romans became Christians,
יש פה
another
נר
candle,
שמן, הוא מהתקופה הביזנטית
candle.
עם צורת שתי וערב, זה אומר צלב.
from it with a cross on it.
אוקיי? אז גם נמצא פה, אבל התגלגל.
This is
לא
the
נמצא
excavator that
ברחוב.
excavated that place.
ועוד משהו מיוחד מהתקופה
And
העבאסית.
another time from another part from
סוג של
the Muslim,
משקולת או מטבע
like a
מזכוכית.
weight from glass.
אוקיי? ואתם רואים פה, יש פה שורות, יש פה פסוקים מהקוראן בערבית.
With sentences from the Quran
לא, זה סתם לכלוך.
made of glass.
אחת זה
מי
מאוד...
שעשה צילום טוב, שישלח את זה בקבוצה.
אוקיי?
שלח בקבוצה צילומים טובים.
רגע, זה לא שביר?
Amazing.
זה לא בדיוק מטבע...
Way
יש משקולת 2
from
שקלים
the first temple
שמצאנו
time.
בקשת ווילסון. תעשו גוגל משקולת ליד הכותל. ופה יש לנו עוד משקולת מתקופת בית המקדש הראשון.
From the first
לפעמים
temple time.
זה אמור להיות משקולת נצף, אבל אין עליה כתובת, היא שחוקה
there's no-
ומסוגלת.
it didn't find the
אבל אנחנו
description
רואים
of
את
it.
הבסיס השטוח שלה, והמשקולת הזאת זו משקולת של רמאים.
Oh,
אוקיי? היא שוקלת יותר ממה שהיא אמורה לשקול.
it's actually heavier than what it's supposed to be.
8%.
For one, for
אז בעצם
merchandise, you
ששוקלים,
want to.
המשקולת הזאת הורידה את המאזניים
yeah,
יותר
to cheat.
ממה שהייתה אמורה, ועל מנת לאזן אותה היה צריך להוסיף יותר חלקים של כסף. איך אנחנו קוראים לחלקים הקטנים בצעים, ואז מי שרודף אפילו אחרי האגורות הקטנות.
The thing that I couldn't show you is a stone from the first century. Now I can enter. Here it is. Is it part of the temple or not? It reminds me a stone from Magdala, but I don't know. Take a picture of it and we'll send it to my scholar, Christianity scholar, and to deal with her about it. Such an amazing thing. Then the energy of mine is so strong. I hope that your energy is strong as well, because what you see here is for the first time. No one saw it before. See you in about half an hour. I'm going to eat.